Hello Internet friends, this is Dan, and I want to share with you today a project I'm working on for a friend. In the town that I live in, there's a historic district, and there are houses that are over 100 years old, and my friend has these shutters that were in terrible condition. They were weathered, and she had asked me if I would go ahead and paint them, but just to take them down and paint them was not enough. You had to strip all the paint off. So I'd kind of like to show you how I did this project. I've got a couple steps here, but in the shutter, as you can see over here, I've got some primer and a lot of the old paint that I've removed with a couple different steps here. But if you take a look at one of these, you can kind of see all the old paint. And the first thing I had done was I put the shutters alongside of my house. I used a pressure washer just to blast the real loose stuff off. And as that did that, the pressure washer actually took the paint down to the wood, which the water pressure of the pressure washer was pretty harsh on that wood. And then of course it didn't remove all the paint. So I had to come up with a couple ways to remove the stubborn paint still and fix the damage that was caused by the pressure washer. So this is what I had done. Of course, because these shutters are so old, a lot of that paint is actually got lead in it. So the PPE that I use, obviously, I'm going to use a dust mask and my goggles. So let me put my mask on. Make sure I got a good seal. And then my glasses are on, because as I use these tools, paint chips are going to get in the air. And I do use a lot of these power tools that make a lot of noise, so I'm going to use ear protection. So the first thing I'm going to use to knock some of this paint off is a grinder with a pretty heavy grit. Now, as you can see, it took all that paint off, but now I've got these grooves. So I'm going to use different type of sandpaper on my other sander to smooth those out. Now the one sander, it has pretty aggressive sandpaper on it. It knocked out the grooves. And what I would do is I would bring down the grit to smooth this all out. Now, these obviously fit in here. And then what I have is a device to where I can get up into the actual part of the shutters fairly easy. So each of these shutters actually takes a couple hours to do. So let me kind of show you. So obviously I've got some work to do, and today's a perfect day to do it because the weather's really nice out here today. And I'll get these all smooth, and then I'll prime it. Now, what I do for paint after I got a prime on there, I just use regular spray paint, and I'll just go ahead and start covering it And I'll do several coats. And this actually allows you to really see the grain in the wood, which, because these are really old shutters and they are made out of wood, they'll look really good back up on the house. So I'll kind of show you really one that I've got completed, which looks really nice. And over here on the other side of the garage, you can kind of compare, one with the other. And when they're all finished, I will go ahead and put them back up on the house, and they'll have a really clean, authentic look that I believe the neighbors will be very envious of. So that's kind of a step-by-step of the 4 shutters I have here. I hate to say this, but I've got over 10 hours in them, and I look forward to getting this project done and then move on to the next one. So I hope you all enjoyed this short little video, and you all have a good day. Take care.